Hey guys, so in today's video I want to do some organization for my artwork because a lot of it is so disorganized right now. So I prefer to draw on loose paper compared to drawing in a sketchbook. So usually I'll rip pages out of my sketchbook and then later tape them back in. And then I'll also draw just on computer printer paper and then tape it to the back pages of my sketchbook. And I thought, why not? Well, this is actually an idea from someone in the comments. They were like, hey, why don't you try disc binding? So I bought this hole punch, as you guys saw in a haul video, and these discs from Michaels. And I realized that not everything I make would be disc bound. Yes, sketches, but I have a bunch of other stuff I want to organize too. And so I bought some other stuff as well. And I thought, why not make a video of me organizing this, and maybe it'll give some people ideas on how they can organize their stuff. So I have these portfolio style books that I like to store my favorite Copic illustrations in. I don't know what's here. Sometimes I take stuff out and move it, or sometimes I sell it. So now I'm just really confused about what was the first one, but yeah, this is kind of the main place I go to store my full-size Copic illustrations. There are a few smaller ones in here as well. And yeah, it's just a portfolio type book. And this is full, I believe, except that front page, obviously, which was empty. This one's just a line art, so technically that shouldn't even be in here, but it kind of goes with this one, so that's why I have it like that. Yeah, that one's also missing. I don't know what happened to this. But, see, that's a line art, that shouldn't be in here anymore. Anyway, you get the idea. It's where I store my stuff, Mr. Bun Bun. It got filled up, and then I started on a second one. Except that back page. Okay, we have 3 blank spots. Okay, apparently. Then I got started on this one, which normally would just hold prints. I don't have the original for this anymore, so all I have is this print, so it's nice to have it in here. This was digital, so it's nice to have a printed format. This I actually do have the original for, but it's bigger, and so it's in a bigger one of these, because I do have a third one that can hold 9x12s, I believe it is. Anyway, they're all prints up until here. This is where the original start, because the other book was full, so I started putting my Copic illustrations in here. So that's where we're at. Oh, I skipped a page. Huh. Even this one is slowly filling up. I don't know if I'll buy more like this, or if I'll just slowly transfer drawings out of here into binders with sleeves. I don't know. But that's pretty much the current storage for my art, and everything else just gets thrown in a pile. So there's the disc binding stuff like I mentioned, and then I have these clear protectors that just go in a binder. I'm not a huge fan of binders. I mean, they're fine for storing things and flipping through it, but I don't like actively using it to take stuff in and out of, but I guess that works for storing art. My thing is, I only like skinny binders. I do not like thick ones. I have a thick one to store all my Pokemon cards, and I hate how thick it is. So I was like, okay, if I'm gonna do the binder method for some of this, I need skinny ones and ones that don't zip. So I got 2 of them from Staples. I also grabbed a small one just for smaller art that I do. I know you can get sleeves for regular size binders that are cut in half. I saw some at Staples and I was like, oh, that could work. But I just like the idea of having a smaller binder. I thought it'd be cute. And they also had little miniature sleeves for it. So I just couldn't resist. I was like, I need that. And what's nice with the binders is you can just customize it by slipping something in the sleeve or putting stickers directly on it, whatever you want. I don't know how much I'll customize the binders today, if at all. I might just not. But I do want to do some custom covers for my disc binding method because I didn't buy any covers for it. I thought I would try making my own with chipboard and with some washi tape. So I got some colors here and I can just stick the tape on it and maybe it'll look decent. In addition to the little discs I bought at Michael's, I saw some at Staples, which were much cheaper. Plus you actually get 12 instead of the 9 set, which is really stupid because the 9 rings is only good enough for a smaller book, and then you need 12 for the bigger book, but Michael's only sold the 9 packs. So you'd have to buy 2 9 packs instead of a 12, which is very sneaky. That's shady. I also just wanted some different sizes and they were so cheap. I was like, I must. So this is medium, this is the large, and this is small. Then of course I have my hole punch, and I have this fat stack of art here. I don't know if it's all gonna go in this organization system. Some of it I know is too big for that, but we'll see. Normally I just keep all this art in a drawer in my dresser, and that's fine. Usually it's not bad. It doesn't really get damaged, but it'd be nice to have a way to be able to flip through it. Excuse me, Kiki. Thank you. So I think what I'm gonna do first is sort this based on what it is, like sketches. These aren't even original sketches. These I did in Procreate and printed them off, but I'm still gonna keep them and bind them in my book. I've got some really quickly done stuff like this. This is for Doodle Domain, which is my kids drawing channel, which I haven't touched since Artie Advent, and I don't want to give up on it. I do want to keep doing videos. I just don't know how often I'll be able to. And with my current schedule this year of doing so many conventions, well, so many for me means like 3, possibly 4. That has kept me so busy that Doodle Domain's on a hiatus right now. So yeah, I'll sort by like my nicer marker stuff versus the not so nice stuff. Versus like sketches. I also kind of want to keep line art stuff separate as well. These I'm not going to be hole punching. These will go in a binder. So I'm going to have a few different categories here. There's also silly little stuff like this that I don't really want in my main Copic folder thingy, so that can kind of go with the Doodle Domain stuff. Oh, and then there's stuff like this, which actually needs to be taped back into my sketchbook because this is a sketchbook page I tore out. So, okay, there's another category. Then there's the small stuff, which could go in here. I don't know. Is this going to be for small sketches or only for small Copic art? Or both? This is too thick, but Decisions. So this is like a nice full color one. So that can go in those folders I showed you before. Until space fills up. Sketch. I'll count that as fully colored even though I did the background digitally. You get the point. I am going to go through all this now. I'm actually gonna lump these. This is a coloring page I was working on and it's not finished, so let's tuck that there. So while I'm sorting through this artwork, I thought I would let you know about a charity live stream I'm doing right here on this YouTube channel tomorrow from 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time until 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So just a 2-hour window. I am participating in the BC SPCA's Lock-In for Love event, and so I'm going to be at the SPCA locked in a kennel with an animal for 2 hours, and I have to try to raise up enough funds to meet my goal of $3,000 within that 2-hour window. Like I said, it's going to be live streamed to this channel. You can donate during the live stream, or if you can't make it to the live stream or you're worried you're going to forget about it because it's so short, you can actually donate now using my link in the video description. I'm just going to cut back to me talking about the artwork for a little bit, and then I will let you know a little bit more about what the BC SPCA does. This boy is too big to fit in anything, so it's just going to sit there. This is an 11 by 14. I think I have another one, or 2. These are for the splash pages of my book. Oh, I also had this one, which was just for a video. Oh, I cropped it a little bit though. I had this one and this one. Yeah, these are too big. They probably have to go back in a drawer. Oh, this one's also big. Puppy. Ugh, what goes in the colored pile? What goes in the line art pile? I don't know. This is the tricky stuff. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. It could all be in one binder, mixed. They don't have to be separate, I guess. Here's some planning for colors and steps for things in my book. Kind of want to keep that. This is another one, but it's a thicker piece of paper. So just a little bit more about the BC SPCA. They have been serving the animals of BC since 1895, and it's the largest organization of its kind in North America. They are the only animal welfare organization with the authority to enforce laws relating to animal cruelty in BC. They provide a wide range of services, including in-shelter care and free or subsidized outreach services to care and assist for animals. They find new loving families for homeless animals. They operate over 44 locations, including 5 hospitals/clinics. They reunite lost animals with their families. They conduct cruelty investigations, and they provide education programs to teach children about being humane to animals. So if this sounds like the kind of organization you would like to support, again, the link is down below, and the live stream will be tomorrow. The stream is only 2 hours long, so be sure to set an alarm so you don't miss out. So I don't actually have a whole lot in the sketch pile, so that shouldn't be too much work to hole punch. But for the doodle domain stuff, I'm kind of thinking of hole punching it and putting it together with these smaller rings, because yeah, I could just put them in clear sleeves, but I kind of want to disc bind them, and the art never extends all the way to the edge of the paper anyway, so yeah, I might do that. There are sometimes multiples of the same drawing because I had to play around so much with video settings to figure out a setup for this. So yeah, there's a lot of bears, and there's a lot of bows too. I have 2 of the doll. I have 2 of the bows. No, I have 3 of the bows. I have 2 pushings. Then a cactus, shark. I think that's it. Wait, are there 2 of the cactus? Oh my god, there is. God. So I'm gonna start off with the small book because I don't have a whole lot to put in here yet. I actually do have some small items that were in the front of one of those portfolios. Okay, these small ones could be transferred. Some of them I might have to trim a little bit though. This one's not gonna fit, so that will stay. The original Goofy Baylee. I think this one was supposed to be part of a giveaway in one of my 24-hour streams, but the person never responded to me. Yeah, I think she could fit in here. Oh, this one's just too wide and I do not want to trim it. Dang it. Okay, gonna move it over to the big boy pile. Okay, so here is the mini binder of mini drawings. Woohoo, there's not a whole lot so far, but yeah, this size is something I can keep in mind for future art. I can make sure it's the right dimensions. Because what is that, like a 5x7? The sleeves are 5.5 by 8.5. Anyway, let's move on now to one of the other binders. I'm just gonna do the same thing where I put the art in sleeves and put it in the binder. Okay, I've put my art into the binders and they're actually quite full. I did put some blank sleeves at the back, but this would fill it up quite a fair amount. What I like though is that this is just a nice, easy to flip through size. The big binders are just so heavy and clumsy and blech. So I like having smaller sizes, kind of like having a bunch of individual sketchbooks. I might need some kind of label on the spine though, so I know which one's which. So now I'm gonna move on to the disc-bound books. And I'm really curious to see if I can easily punch through the cardstock. I think it'll be okay, but this thing strangely has a limit of 3 sheets of paper. So that's not a whole lot. Wait, is there seriously nothing for me to line this against? Really? There is no stopper. I might have to make something. It's just that this goes all the way to the edges. If I make something, it's gotta stick off like right where this rubber thing is. Ugh. Yeah, I can eyeball it, but that's gonna take time because I could line it up because it just barely hangs over the edge. I can say that feels roughly right, but that's just gonna take so much longer. I could just put some kind of heavy item here, I guess, and butt it up against that. The only thing is that's not quite centering the paper. No, it's gonna have a little bit more overhang on this side. Because like I said, you kind of want it aligned where the black meets the blue, not at the end of the black. Ooh, ooh, Sharky. Okay, let's dig into here. Oh right, I forgot that I bought a 9-hole punch. I was like, what? Why do I have extra rings? I forgot I got the 9-hole punch, so I only need 9, not 12. Or 11. I think 11 is the other hole punch, but then this is a pack of 12. As you can see, it really could use another punch on each end. I went with this one because 1, the rings came in packs of 9, and because the hole punch that did 11 holes was more expensive. So my edges are just gonna overhang a bit. Okay, so here's the first one. I don't have a cover for this one yet, but I think all I'm gonna do is just take a piece of blank cardstock and put it on the front. Since it's already cardstock, it's already pretty stable. I just want to protect Mr. Sharky here. I don't want him to get scuffed up or anything. I'm sure I could decorate it if I want to, but it's fine the way it is. Yay, I can flip through the pages. I'm hoping my sketchbook one turns out as nice because the paper is going to be a lot flimsier than this. This is cardstock, it stays nice and rigid. And I mean, there are tons of disc-bound items that have thin paper in it, but I don't know, just a little nervous, I guess. I did buy this heavier weight paper though, because my current printer paper is only 20 pound, so I picked up 28. And I might hole punch some of this even though it's blank, just so if I do want to pull out a paper that's already punched, I can do that. You can hole punch it before you draw on it, after you draw on it, whatever you want. If you're just looking to make yourself a blank sketchbook, you can do that too. I personally don't like rings when I'm drawing because I'm left-handed, so this is just to store my art, not to make a sketchbook that I actively sketch in. I'm realizing there's more hidden in here that's meant to go in my existing sketchbook. I can tell because the edges are all perforated and torn. Well, this does not fit in there. I might have to manually cut the cover. Ugh. The way I did my hole punching, it doesn't perfectly center these lines. They're slightly off because of what I mentioned. But when I did this, I did it the wrong way. Like it goes this way, which would make it like the back cover for the book.
Why can't you just flip that one around?
Well, because when I flip it this way, it doesn't line up.
Oh.
This is too high, like all the slits are too high. I could make this the back cover. I was gonna have the back cover plain, but I could make that the back and then make this the front one. Ugh, I could do it this way, I guess. I'll just have to cut the tape out after because this was too thick to hole punch after I put the tape on it. But I managed to hole punch one before putting anything on it. I was gonna leave it plain, but I might as well cover it in tape if it's gonna be the front cover now. Okay. Cover is redone. It actually turned out a lot better than the last one. And cutting through the tape wasn't too bad considering it was hole punched underneath. Now I need to assemble it and I'm torn about what rings I want to use because I was gonna go with big ones because I know this is eventually gonna get super thick. But these need to get used too and they match nicely. I don't know, it's cute, right? So I might go with these, and then if this one fills up, then I guess it fills up. Or I could always swap out the rings later. Well, that would be a bit of work, but you know, you ever feel like you need to save your nice sketchbook for nice drawings? That's what I feel like it is right now with these rings and this cover. I'm like, this has to be the nice stuff. And I'm like, Baylee, all your sketches are gonna look like this. Just stick them together. Also, I just felt like I should say, I'm never gonna stop sketching in regular sketchbooks because I do just have a bunch of them. But I think that'd be more for just casual sketching, whereas this is more for stuff that I need to scan and rip out of the book all the time, or if I'm gonna trace it onto marker paper or something like that. This paper is so nice. Holy crap. I mean, it does say premium on it, but man. I mean, I wanted nice paper, that's what I got. I mean, I mainly wanted the thickness, but this is so ultra smooth. I'm gonna be scared to even sketch on this. It's too nice. Don't wanna waste it. Ooh, Hammermill, why do you make such good paper? Okay, the book is now done with the additional pages added, and man, are they nice. Oh, love it. So I have my existing pages that I can flip through. The cover sticks a little bit because I did have to custom cut it. I'm sure it'll loosen over time though. And I can easily flip through my pages. It stays intact. Ooh, oh my. And then if I want to grab a new piece of paper, I can either just grab an uncut piece from the stack, or I can come to the back of this book and pull one out just like this. Comes right out, and then you can snap them back in. And if you wanted to reorder your sketches, you could. They're easy to pop out and just stick where you want them. It's very nice. This is just so satisfying. Oh my goodness. All these loose pieces of paper all in one spot. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing me organize my art. Hopefully it gave you some ideas on what you can do with your art. I had 3 methods here. I had the binder with sleeves, I had the disc bound, and then I had these little portfolios like this. I don't know what to call them. I just call them portfolios. And then there was the mini binder. Yay. I'm actually gonna stick in one last thing. This one's just a sketch, but it doesn't really have a home. It can go right in there. But yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and just a reminder about the link down below for the SPCA thing. I'll see you guys Saturday for my next video.